What's
We're
up?
live.
we are live. The second one
We're
didn't work.
live. No theme song. Okay.
I don't know why it didn't
I
go.
didn't even
That's
notice
weird.
that.
Huh? There it
Okay,
is.
that's better.
It was like a delayed
I
reaction.
think I think I better take these off so I can better see what you're doing over there on that end of things.
What's up, everybody? We are back.
We are back.
Episode number 207. Christmas metal and rock and Christmas wants or 2024 stuff you're looking forward to. That's what we're going to be talking about. All kinds
I
of stuff.
don't think
today.
we have a title. It's just that we just
It's Christmas and we're just
whatever.
We're just being festive. We all wore our festive hats, and I got on my Grinch shirt, so we're all good. You got your St. Nick's World Tour.
That's right.
Shirt. And Steve wins with the Santa hat of the year.
I think he does. Metal Overkill's here. Scotty Adams, Tony Clem. Yes.
Not a big soda drinker, but just diet Dr. Pepper's strawberry is actually pretty good.
Doesn't Dr. Pepper have kind of a
cherry?
Well, whatever.
So it's cherry and strawberry together.
Yeah, we got Carcass Claws, Frazier.
What'd he say?
Frazier,
where'd he go?
Oh, I said Carcass Claws.
Santa Carcass Claus. Jeff
Batcher. So anyhow, what's up, John? You got any shout outs? Got anything you want to say before we start our?
No, I mean, for whatever reason, the season in metal is getting off to a very hot, auspicious start. In fact, there's a bunch of cool stuff happening in the next week or so as we close out 2023 and then blasting right off into 2024. In fact, I noticed that James Rivera's Metal Apocalypse, or whatever they call that, with an all-star band, and he sings everything from Saxon to Priest to Iron Maiden, and he's playing a huge show and venue here in mid-January, so we're pretty excited about that. Steph and I went to the Fort Worth Music Awards on Sunday. It was pretty cool. Got to interact with a bunch of new bands I never heard of. You know, that it was kind of funny. One of the gals that won DJ of the year said it's pretty honorable that they let a woman win in a town full of guys with guitars. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I mean, Fort Worth is it's a hotbed of music, just like Dallas or anywhere in Texas. But anyway, it's fun. But other than that, man, I'm ready for the month to be over and for the new year to start, and clean slate. Did the old doctor visit, the yearly doctor visit thing. So, all the normal stuff. And here we are, still 207 episodes later. Good grief. How about you, Steve?
I'm just ready to have some money again, man. My wife and daughter are draining the bank with Christmas, You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't grow on trees. I've been in the landscape business 40 plus years, and I still can't figure out how to make it work. But anyway, it is what it is, and here we are.
Yeah,
still buying records.
I'm looking forward to Christmas. I mean, I have 6 grandkids, and my wife goes nuts buying them stuff, and so does my kids. Have always grown up with Christmas morning. We wake up and it's just a madhouse of people tearing up gifts together, and it's just a lot of fun. And now that I have 6 grandkids, and my 2 kids still live here, and my mom is still alive, so we just have this huge family gathering, and everybody's there. Everybody buys gifts for everybody else, and for the kids mostly. I don't usually get a whole lot of presents myself on Christmas, but the kids just get to have a blast. So, and that's what I look forward to it every year. Excuse me. That and all the food.
I ordered my gifts, so I already know what's coming. So.
Oh,
I have no idea if I'll get anything at all. My mom always buys me at least one record every year just because she knows I like it so much. But other than that, I don't usually get a lot of presents. But I love spending time with my grandkids. So
a couple of box sets, but I've been trying to lay off the box sets lately because they just sit there and half the time never even get opened. So
stay in the box.
Yeah, I've got so many boxes. I just sold like 5 of them because I've had them for like 7 years and haven't even opened them yet. So,
oh, well,
I mean, it's stuff I already have on vinyl. I didn't need the box set on top of it. Type of thing.
Right.
So,
but do you need the box set on top of it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you don't. You do. You always do.
I'm just getting to the point now where I don't have room, and
Yeah,
that I definitely know.
that is space and better be used with stuff that I don't have. So,
yeah,
But
I've been
I don't-
consolidating it. I've been consolidating a little myself, but I'd rather give it to someone that I know would really appreciate it, especially if it's been sitting in the corner, like you say, Steve. I
I'm
call
still
that.
buying box sets. I actually just bought the Metallurgy, the Judas Priest box set with the spikes all around the
Oh
edges.
yeah.
I just bought that one like a week ago, so I'm
Yeah,
still
that's kind
buying
of a
box
fun.
sets.
That's a fun one though.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a different vibe to it.
Fraser got the Humble Buy box. That's nice.
Oh, nice! I love Humble Pie.
It's like what,
Me
8
too.
CDs? It's like an 8 CD set or something ridiculous. It must have demos and like 15 live shows or something. I don't know.
Well, they had quite a few albums too. It's not,
If you look at the very top of the screen up there, you can see some of mine sitting up there behind me.
But was the Humble Pie? Wasn't it just an album, or was it a box set of all their albums? I thought it was
Fraser,
just
you
one
have
of
to
their
answer the
albums.
question because I don't know.
It may have been.
Fraser, what is the title of the Humble Pie box set that you bought? Tony, I agree with you 1,000%. I'd rather give gifts because I love the reaction. In fact, sometimes people are embarrassed when you give them something, but I don't care.
Oh, I completely overdo it. So I grew up super poor, so our Christmases were very, very meek when I was a kid. So my wife and daughter get spoiled every year. So hopefully my daughter passes that on to her kids when she gets to that point.
My kids are definitely passing it on to theirs. So, and
It's
they're actually
good.
doing, but they actually do better than I do. They both have bigger houses than I do, and so good for them. But
I think every day should be Christmas. I think we should be happy and benevolent and with our families and having fun and giving gifts and whatever. But that's
what my wife hates is when I want something, I just buy it. I don't wait till she wants me to wait till Christmas for a bunch of stuff. And when I want something, I want it now.
yeah.
Say, honey, I can't wait for tomb mold. I've got to have it now.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is if you on some stuff, if you wait, it gone. I mean, you just can't get it.
Oh, speaking of which, I did cancel my order from Merch Bar for the Osric Tentacles. Had to get the plug in, Tony. And I ordered from Amazon, and it'll be here tomorrow. So I don't know what the big delay was, but they had my money since the first part of September. I pre-ordered the thing.
Yeah, I need to email Nuclear Blast because I ordered one of the Cavalera albums. I pre-ordered it and I still haven't got it. However, they have it on their website, so I don't get what's
right. And that was the thing about Merch Bar is they're advertising it for cheaper than what I paid for it.
Merch Bar sucks. I've had really bad luck with them, and what it is it doesn't all come from Merch Bar. It's the bands can advertise it on there, but it comes from different places. So if the bands don't update the website, Merch Bar, they're just like a online
broker.
retail. Yeah.
That's what they're saying, that they were having a supplier issue, and I said, well, then why are you advertising it? Just give me one of those. I don't care. I don't care if it's purple, pink. I just want the album on vinyl.
What sucks is I ordered two of the warrants when they repressed those on Merch Bar, and I can't find the email, so I can't even get a refund on those that I never got. So yeah. So now I keep all that stuff.
Yeah, it won't happen again. And people ask me, why do I like to actually go to a store and rummage through things? I mean, sure, the world is your store when you're online, but I would much rather go support a local guy. We've got a couple.
When you're ordering records, I would say 20% of them come damaged. And then when I'm in the store, I can see if it's damaged or not before I put my money down.
Right, and you can check the quality of the vinyl. You can make sure it's got all the inserts, whatever. So
Oh, I did just get this, Scott.
Oh, nice.
oh,
He sent
cool.
those out quick. I ordered it
Ordered
on
it-
like Thursday, and it was here Monday, I think.
Is that a single or a double album?
No, it's the single. He only had like 10 or 15 of them.
That's the
Bill just had
remastered.
a few of them. He put it on his
edition.
email, and then a little bit they were gone. So
Yeah.
Right on. Well, let's get into it then. We were 11 minutes into the show. We might as well start. So we're going to talk
Yep.
Christmas music. I pulled a few things. I pulled some singles, some CDs. I pulled a few 12-inch. But
Well, as I looked at my when I went to do the same thing, I was just like, I've got a couple of these, the ones with Winger and Dio and George Lynch, and I've got a couple of those. I know that the rock and roll ones. What is that? A Very Merry Christmas. I have this on cassette.
oh yeah,
doesn't it have Run DMC on it?
Yeah, it's got Run DMC and it's got Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty and Madonna, and I mean these are cool. They actually released a green one, a silver one, and a white one, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all good. I mean, they're not
Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
right.
Hollis
I mean, they're not
collard
metal.
greens.
They're not metal, but you know what? Christmas is just about music, and Fraser Dawson for the win there, because I mean, well, he's got both of them. No Presents for Christmas by Merciful Fate or by King Diamond, and then the Rob Halford albums are actually pretty good.
yeah.
The Christmas his rendition of Christmas like songs. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, say what you want about him and his crazy cat fetish, but he's I follow him on Instagram and on Facebook, and he can post all he wants about his cats, but Halford's a great guy, and he's a killer vocalist, and those albums are, I think the third one is a little weak, but the others are outstanding. I think that's just my opinion.
I didn't know he had 3 of them. I know he has 2 of them. I've
Yeah,
got 2 Alfred ones.
Well, 2 of them are available on vinyl. The third one is not. So that may be the reason. I don't know.
Well, I'll show this one real quick because I know Scott's going to show it too. But this is actually one of my favorites.
Oh wow, that's killer!
Yeah, me
That
too.
cover is killer.
Yeah, Scott did it.
Yeah, I got the red vinyl version. There's a green vinyl version too, but this thing is great.
Oh,
I mean, I play it every Christmas. It's
yeah, I love this one.
It's just what you want to hear from Helix without it being. I mean, it's got some traditional stuff, some stuff they came up with themselves, but it's actually
Santa Claus is Back in Town is great, but yeah, this one's really good. Yeah. Do you still have copies of this?
There are still copies of this on vinyl and CD on the No Life Till Metal Records.com site. If anybody's
That's worth
interested.
getting if you guys don't have it. That one's a lot of fun.
I think it's pretty inexpensive.
Speaking of which, and I don't know what's on there. I kind of like it when they do traditional things, but what would you call August Burns Red? Are they like a core, like a deathcore band? Dude, their Christmas album is so fantastic. I would highly recommend it to any person.
I did. I pulled a bunch
deathcore.
of lists of the best metal Christmas albums, and that was like number 1 or 2 on every single one of them.
Yep. That's by
That's
far
the one I want to get. I want to get that. I missed out on that one.
Huh.
All I want for
Christmas is at least to win the cup.
Yeah.
I might have to order that.
I don't know why
Back
that was
with Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fun one. I've had that. I bought it new when it came out. I think it was available in green and red. I got the green vinyl copy, but
you know what's funny though? The older I get, and the more Christmas has been wiped out in culture, I'm becoming more nostalgic for the traditional songs.
Well, and how about this? You used to be able to go to your local tire dealership.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, you could go to the local Firestone and get your tires changed, and then pick up Julie Andrews, Vic Damone. This thing is fantastic. Oh, and how about this? You remember these? They actually had a snippet where you could order these from the commercial.
Oh, yeah, I remember those too.
Yeah. Happy holiday greetings from the Clydesdales, and this is actually sold by Budweiser. And if you bought a 12-pack, you didn't even have to send them money. You just sent them the the purchase tab, and they would send you the record. And
I
it's got
didn't
great
pull
songs
any.
on it.
I didn't pull any, but I have a bunch of like Waylon Jennings Christmas, like what the heck is his name? Willie Nelson Christmas. I have a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
country Christmas ones that are really good. But yeah, the older I get now, that when we were kids, they would decorate the whole city. Everything would be decorated. Everywhere you went, you heard Christmas music. I haven't heard a single Christmas song in a store this year. And none of the stores around me are decorated. The mall has one little section that's like 10 feet by 10 feet that's decorated, and that's it.
yeah.
It's pretty sad what's happening.
Even when you go to KFC,
Oh yeah.
you haven't. I have people crawling all over me for that. There's no way I'll give it up.
Let me show you a few of my favorite 7-inch Christmas singles. This is one I play every year.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I got that one
Greedies.
too. Yeah, it's the Thin Lizzy and the Sex Pistols.
Thin Lizzy and the Sex Pistols. Yep, that's what if you look on the cover, it's pretty much what it is. Thin Lizzy and the Sex Pistols. So they put this thing out, 1980? It had to be early 80s, maybe even 1980, maybe even 79.
Oh, it was late 70s. Yeah.
It's basically Thin Lizzy with a couple of the Sex Pistols guys thrown in there just to give it a more of a punk, nasty vibe. Worth picking up, especially if you're a Thin Lizzy fan. A lot of people don't know about that one because they didn't call themselves, Thin Lizzy. One of my all-time favorite Christmas songs, "Father Christmas," the Kinks.
Oh yeah, that's on one of those. I think isn't that on one of those very special Christmases?
Probably.
I think it's on the green one or the gold one. I can't remember.
I wouldn't doubt it. How about this classic, Jim? "Christmas with the Devil."
Yeah.
They played that. They played that the other night at trivia. He was playing Christmas music, and it wasn't really.
I still haven't bought the Twisted Sister. Everybody tells me that one's pretty good too. I've never grabbed it.
That one is good.
There's a couple more favorites of mine. These were only released as promo singles. They were never released on albums. But this is Foghat's "Run Run Rudolph."
Oh, there you go.
And then Foghat doing "All I Want for Christmas Is You," which is an original Christmas track by them. I knew of this one for years, and then I was actually listening to, I don't think it was in the gym or something like that, and they had the local rock radio on around Christmas time, and they played the song. I'm like, dude, that sounds like Foghat, and sure enough, so I went and found it. But anyhow, "All I Want for Christmas Is You" and "Run Run Rudolph" by Foghat. I think this is the only way to get these is on singles because they were just promo singles that were sent to radio stations.
70s comps or something.
Yeah. Or how about this? How about this one?
Oh yeah, I actually have that.
Seen that one.
It's Holy Grail, Seasons
Bleedings. Yeah.
So they do a cover of "No Presents for Christmas" on the A side.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the B side is "Kill the King." And then one more 7-inch single. I didn't pull everything. I just pulled a handful of them. But Angel's Winter Song, or if you can find it, this is the promo of the Christmas song, which is the winter song. The winter song with different lyrics. It's got Christmas lyrics. I mean, this is pretty Christmassy as well, but there's several different versions of this. Here's another one.
Speaking of Angel, I just got around to listening to this. Man, that's
fantastic.
Dude, that's great.
Oh, I had never. Well, Scott told me about it. We were flipping through some records, and Scott's like, "You got to get that." I was like, "Dude, what is it?" He's like, "It's Punky Meadow." It's not just Punky Meadows though. It's got
it's got the singer from the Joe Perry Project on it too.
Well, no, it's got Mickey Jones from Angel too. It's got two of the guys from Angel on it. But yeah,
and a singer from the Joe Perry Project on it.
This is killer.
The second album isn't quite as good, but it is good too. Damien
an album.
Yeah, Damien Hair Metal says Tarja has a Christmas album, and I bet that is good because that gal has pipes. I really like her vocals.
This is probably my all-time favorite Christmas album. Reverend Horton Heat, "We Three Kings."
Oh wow!
I play this nonstop on Christmas. It's all the just rockabilly covers of all the classics, and then if you do the Reverend Horton Heat station on Pandora, it mixes this. There's like 5 other psychobilly and rockabilly bands, and then there's also Los Straitjackets do instrumentals of all of them. Man, it's some of the best stuff. But this is one of my favorites. And what was cool, I saw them in it was the mid 90s or late 90s, early 2000s. They did their 25th anniversary tour, and what they did on that tour is it was like a 3.5-hour show. It was like a 5-hour show total with the 2 opening bands, but they did like a 3.5-hour set. They did 4 songs from every one of their albums, including this album.
Oh wow.
They did like a Christmas in June in Phoenix. It was like 120 degrees, and really killer though. Highly recommend grab it. This just got repressed too. It was like $150 for the original pressing, and then they did a record store day pressing. Now you can get it for like $20.
Sweet.
Little Texas love there.
Well, everybody keeps talking about it, so I'll grab it and pull it up.
Yeah,
this
I need
is
to
what's
grab
up.
that one.
I really like it. It is one that my wife even enjoys, and she's not a big fan of style of music. She likes country basically, but she doesn't mind this one. So I do a great job. It's funny how a couple of the songs are just Twisted Sister songs with traditional music over top of it.
Right.
So yeah, but I'd play it every year at least once.
Well, you
Actually,
said you said
the tour shirt from this one too.
You said 2 magic words. You said Texas and you said country. And so how about that? Blue Christmas by Ernest Tubb. And I love old country like the Willies and the Whalens and so forth, but Ernest Tubb is one of my all-time favorite. I've got a stack of stuff from him, bootleg and otherwise. Who remembers Captain Kangaroo?
Yep.
This even has a little duet with Captain or Mr. Green Jeans.
Nice.
And
you got to be the right age to know who Mr. Green Jeans
right.
is.
So, in fact, I argued with somebody the other day about the importance of Elvis in the metal, because without him making, Elvis, nobody knew that Elvis was white. Okay, let's be honest, that was in a different day and time back in the 50s, and since he was kind of singing the blues and bebop, they thought he was not white. And then he mentioned the high school that he went to. And everyone went, wait a minute, that's a white high school. And so because he made the blues popular amongst the Caucasian, I think it allowed blues bands like Black Sabbath, like Witchfinder General, like those types of bands to become more mainstream. So that he popularized the blues, and the rest is history. Elvis, king of heavy metal. But this is tradition. This is as traditional as it gets. And if you don't have it, you got to get it. Blue Christmas, Silent Night, White Christmas, Santa's back in town, I'll be home for Christmas. If every day was like Christmas, here comes Santa Claus. Man, it's the greatest hits of Santa Claus, and no Mariah Carey cover. Thank goodness.
So sick to hear it.
How about this one here? This is not a Christmas album at all.
I thought about pulling that one out. Yeah. Mine is sealed. I didn't even open it.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's got that little cardboard Christmas ornament in the bottom of it. This is the Record Store Day reissue of it.
I've got like 7 different versions of that single. I didn't need it again, or didn't need to open up.
But it is pretty.
You
funny.
did. You bought it anyway.
All dressed as Santa, dressed as Father Christmas, and Lemmy's flipping everybody off. So it's very, very Motorhead.
Yeah. Hell, hey, how about we shout out our friends north of the border with Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians?
I was going to pull it. I did just buy the Vince Giraldi.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
I still love that. I'm actually me and my daughter are going to watch that this weekend. Watch the Peanuts Christmas.
Yeah. I've only got a couple more, and then we can talk about other things, but Frank Sinatra, if the king is not the king, Frank Sinatra is the king, and he can sing anything and make it sound good, including Christmas albums. I love guitar, the surf guitar thing.
Ooh, that's a good one too, yeah.
And this is a repress. I think it's on green vinyl, but it sounds phenomenal. I love the Ventures just because it lets the music do the talking, and that's pretty much it, man. Remember the days of the Ronco albums?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A Christmas Present by Ronco. And this has got everyone from Julie Andrews to Anita Bryant, Jim Nabors, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, Mahalia Jackson, Robert Goulet, John Davidson, Steve and Edie. Goulet. I mean, come on, man. This is classic. You talk about dating yourself and going back into time. But anyway...
I got 2 more. I got these are newer ones. I got this one just a couple years ago. This is Schaefer and Barlow from Iced Earth got together. This was 2021, I think.
Oh, that's
and,
cool.
Did this? It's a EP. It's We Three Kings, Silent Night. Do You Hear What I Hear, Little Drummer Boy, and then 3 originals as well. And they do a traditional version of Silent Night. But this is, man, Barlow sounds fantastic. And I mean, they're both. It doesn't get much better than this.
Not to step too far out, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but why did Barlow leave Iced Earth?
After 9/11, he decided he wanted to become a police officer and serve the country in a different way, and being in a band, and that's what he did.
Well, he came back after a couple years, didn't he?
He'd done some stuff, but he just didn't want to spend his nothing but touring, and that's because
Did he come back and do a couple hours after Ripper was fired? Didn't he do a couple more albums?
No, he's never recorded with Iced Earth again, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay, but yeah, they just did this a couple years ago. They did it on vinyl as well. The reason I got this one is because it came with a bunch of signed stuff. So, and then I just got this one the other day. I haven't listened to it yet, but this is Christmas is the Worst from Grave Robber. I love these guys. Have you heard these guys, John?
No, I haven't.
Grave Robber, they're horror punk. They kind of
yeah, kind of a Misfits type of
like
thing.
The Misfits sound.
Yeah, they wear masks and they're pretty good. I like them.
I've seen them live. They're fantastic live.
But yeah, they're a fun band. All their records are really good. I've got everything, so I've
got them all on vinyl too.
Yeah.
All right, I got a few here. We'll get into. How about this? The band that shall not be.
Oh, I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Striper, Reason for the Season, backed with Winter Wonderland.
Hey, there's no doubting their talent, and man, they can and he can sing. He, not mentioning the name, but
what's funny about them is they've gotten heavier. The stuff they've done the last 7-8 years is the heaviest stuff they've ever done.
Yeah.
Some of it's almost right on the edge of thrash. Some of the guitars that they've been doing, they've changed quite a bit.
How about?
Oh, I've never even seen that one.
Never even seen
Christmas. This is a Record Store Day release from a few years ago, and it's put out by Cheap Trick's own label. So, but it was a Record Store Day release. If you like Cheap Trick, you'll dig it. It's it's not an album you're going to play other than Christmas time unless you're really into Christmas music. But how about this? This is one that I've had for years and enjoy. This is Joe Perry's "Merry Christmas."
I've never seen that either.
This is one he sold. This is one he sold on his website. The year before, he recorded 2 tracks and gave them away as MP3s on his website. Those are why when I was talking to you guys earlier about my computer crashing, I'm trying to find those 2 because he did Run Run Rudolph and then he did it again here. But the version he did the year before was just so much better and heavier and longer actually than this one. But they're both good. So anyhow, that's one I usually enjoy every year. And then
Leave It to Scott. Oh wow, look at that!
The Mass Christmas EP. So they actually like almost every year like record a song for Christmas. So we actually had one of their Christmas songs on, I don't remember which, maybe it was this one here.
Oh yeah, on the sampler. Yeah.
So this is the A Christmas That Rocks sampler from last year, and it's all Christmas tracks and Mass is on there. The Brave, Latter Rain, Bride, Deliverance doing Silent Night. They do a thrash version of Silent Night.
Wow.
Chris Manning's on here doing a song called Winter's Journey, which is an original. So Biogenesis Messiah, which is a fantastic heavy progressive thrash song. The Sacrifice, Little Drummer Boy, band that sounds kind of like Queensryche, and Grave Robbers on here too. Merry Christmas, everybody! So it was a fun one to do, and then you can see the Simpsons picture inside of it. Unfortunately, this one sold out fast. I mean, stupid fast. Last year he did a sale and they were gone. He didn't have any left. This year he pressed a lot. So this is the new one, A Christmas That Rocks, Volume 2. I do. I thought I do.
I don't know why you didn't send me one with this.
This year you had to pay $1 or $2 for it. You didn't get it for free.
Yeah, give me a copy.
Because he actually had to pay all the artists for all these songs on here. So Jagged Doctrine, Sacred Warrior, Stairway, Lord Chain, Sacred Warrior, another track, Altar Boys, Lanny Cordola, Christmas Lullaby. So yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. Ojo Taylor. It's a really good album. I quite enjoy it. So, and that is me on the cover wearing the shirt that I seem to wear all the time as a Simpson character. And that's Bill Bafford. A few more, almost there. Check it out. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a head-banging New Year. This thing is great. If you ever run across this in the
I
used
think I,
stores.
I actually have that one. Is there there's one that's got a green cover too, I think.
Well, this one, what my two favorite songs in here is Black Sabbath, aka Heaven and Hell, do a freaking fantastic version of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen on here.
Oh wow.
I mean,
Hmm.
it's great. And then there is a cover of see, Lemmy does Run Run Rudolph on here. Lemmy and Billy Gibbons together on
Wow.
that track.
I think
But
I've heard that.
You know, it's not
And then there's-
distorted or fuzzy.
And then what's
Pretty
that?
sure I've heard Lemmy doing Run Run Rudolph.
And I've got a couple more here. Hang on. These are fun. I listen to these every year too. But these are the Merry Axmas releases.
Mm.
They're of course my favorite on here. But I mean, it's got Al Di Meola, John Sykes, Robin Trower, Zach Wilde, Trevor Rabin, Stu Ham,
Jeez,
Steve
oh,
Stevens, Neil Sean, Steve Luthiger, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Eric Johnson, Jeff Beck, Brian Setzer Orchestra, Joe Satriani, Steve Morse, Steve Vai, Joe Perry doing White Christmas, Alex Lifeson, Richie Sambora, and Ted Nugent doing Deck the Halls.
Chuck Billy does Silent Night on there too. What? Alex V85 says Chuck Billy does Silent Night.
On this one.
I really want to go. So he didn't do it this year, but almost every year Brian Setzer does a Christmas show here in Atlanta, and I've heard that's really good too.
Dude, it's awesome. I've
seen
seen it. Yeah, I've seen it twice, and it is phenomenal. It's not Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but it might actually be better because it's shorter. And
yeah, I didn't pull them. I've got all of their stuff on vinyl now, and didn't pull it out.
You know, when they first came out, I played them a lot around Christmas, and then I put them on the shelf and forget about them. And I've pretty much forgotten about them every year, and still don't ever hardly play them. But
yeah, I think they're
they're
more of a you go see them than actually just spinning their record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're phenomenal live, but that's where they're better.
This is my last one, and this one, if you have this, you got a rarity. But this is a 3-song EP that I actually got to sing on. That came out in 1999, Christmas 1999. But all the Albuquerque local musicians from all the different bands got together, and they recorded they're all new songs, but they're all Christmas songs, and they sound Christmassy. So in 1998, we did Little Child. In 1999, we did King of the Jews, and then there's a song Giving Glory to My King. But yeah, so it's kind of cool because everybody sings different parts of the songs. And then
so that's for We Are the World.
Basically, and then
We Are Albuquerque.
Even the local popular newscaster was used in the song on here. So it was a lot of fun, and it ended up being on the news. And I gave copies of this to all my family, obviously, back in 1999. So every year at Christmas time, somebody's got this spinning on their thing in my household because it's just part of our Christmas. But I didn't actually sing any lead. I sang there was a choir section, and I sang in the choir. So but there's a lot of other bands on here that are great vocalists and stuff. But yeah, there's also a cassette version from 1998. That's the single, which I don't have in front of me, but if you could find one, good luck. But they pressed a couple thousand of those things up back in the day. But yeah, that was 1999, and they're gone.
I was going to say two things that you need. You know, last week we talked about records you need in your collection. Harry Connick Jr. When My Heart Finds Christmas. This thing is exceptional. This is got a whole. It's like all linked together. It's like a story. He does an original track, but this thing is phenomenal for Christmas. It's one you would just sit down and listen to by the fire. And then I'm telling you, the Carpenters.
That's good.
This thing.
My wife loves that album.
This thing is so awesome. It's pretty. Your wife's right. This thing is awesome.
And she also likes the very first Amy Grant Christmas album a lot. She's liked it since we were kids.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll vouch for the Carpenters. How about that?
If you like the Carpenters one, the Amy Grant one is just as good.
Oh, okay.
My wife's go-to is the Michael Bublé Christmas.
Oh, yeah. There's just like in music in general, there's just so much out there. I mean,
Glenn Rogers said, "Merry Christmas, guys."
Yep, Glenn Rogers.
Merry Christmas, Glenn.
It's just like Scott slinging Joe Perry stuff up there. I'm like, who even knew? I mean, Mass with a Christmas album? What? So
yeah,
Anyway,
So there you
what are
go.
you
That's
looking-
some of our recommendations.
so what are you looking
But-
forward to next year?
Man. So news just hit a couple months ago that 3 Inches of Blood is back together after like a
Yep.
5 or 6 year
Mhm.
hiatus. They're talking about starting touring in January and being in the studio summertime. So that's one of the big ones I'm looking forward to.
Same here.
And
Love that band.
X-Skull has an album coming out in the next few months. that
I'd
I'm really-
love to. I'm hoping it's as good as the last one because the
Oh
last
my
album
God.
is their
That
absolute
last
best
album is
album
one of the-
ever.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best albums of like the 2000s, in my opinion. It's so good.
Yeah, that Extol album is brilliant.
Do you have that,
I
John?
thought their
the
first.
last
I thought their
Extol
first two albums were
Yes.
good.
In fact, I sneaked our copy of the tracks that Rob was remastering.
Oh,
And
okay,
and I couldn't believe what I was listening to because I'd heard of them before, but I was duly impressed. I couldn't believe how great they were.
Yeah,
well,
that
they've
was their.
gone kind of the Opeth route where they started off more death metal and they've moved
Mhm.
slowly to progressive. And that
Yeah,
last
their first album was really aggressive blackened
Yeah.
death metal. The second album was pushing the boundaries of black metal, and then their third album they did an EP with a Believer cover on it, and then their next album was a total they got signed by Century Media, I believe it was,
Right.
and they put out that thrash album that you heard, which is fantastic. I wish it would come out on vinyl. And then the next one after that was this total prog album.
Yeah,
It wasn't death metal at all. Everybody hated it, and I'm like, why? I like this.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Opeth, rumor has it they've got new stuff in the works, and Fraser stole my thunder. I was going to say I'm kind of anxious to figure out if the new Saxon's any good and if the new Priest can hold a candle to their last thing. Because man, their last record, I would say rivals being one of their best.
Their last record is I think it's in my top 5 Priest albums. That's one of my favorite bands. I think, and people argue with me about this. I think there's not any song on there better than the song Painkiller, but it's a better album than Painkiller as a whole.
I would agree with you there. Sure.
I'm also agreeing with Damien Hair Metal. I'm much looking
Yeah.
forward to the new Ace Frehley album.
I've already pre-ordered it.
I did too. I thought the last album was
So what would
but-
make you excited about this one if the last one was just sort of eh?
well, the last one was let's see
Covers.
if I'm not mixing it up in my head. It was all cover songs.
The
and
last
about
two
half
are-
the
last two are cover songs.
covers. And about half the covers I thought I like Ace's covers. I mean, he's done some killer covers over the years. I mean, look at New York Groove. He made that song his own. It became a hit.
I'm kind of curious about the new Dream Theater too. Now that Mike Portnoy's back in the band
Portnoy's
too.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
If they got back their original keyboard player, that really would make it interesting.
It's not Derek
But-
Sherinian anymore?
Oh, he hasn't been in the band for decades,
Really?
as far as I know, unless he came back at some point.
Another
But,
one.
anyhow.
I'll go. Sorry.
I did hear one track from the new Ace Frehley album online. I don't usually spend a whole lot of time listening to it, but I'm like, I got to hear it. So I played it, and it sounds like 1978 Ace Frehley, which is exactly what anybody expects from him.
Are you
So,
excited about
anyhow.
the Rods? Rods have a
They
new
have a new-
record coming. Rods
I didn't
have
know
a new
they had a
record.
new one coming out.
I didn't know how
Yeah.
to, but it doesn't matter. As soon as I found out about it, I would have bought it because I buy everything they put out. So,
Yeah.
How about Dark
What about
Angel?
the new-
yeah, that's one of my number ones.
Yeah,
I can't
everybody's
wait to hear that.
I'm also looking forward to the new Newstead. Did you hear the last self-titled Newstead album was a fantastic metal album? And
Really?
his new release is supposed to be in the same vein as Newstead. He said he doesn't know what he's going to call it yet, if it's going to be Newstead again or a different name, but he's supposed to have a new.
I thought Newstead was pretty good. The EP and the album you put out.
I loved that album. I don't remember the E EP.
I'm also
Yeah,
looking forward to the
was
new what do you call it? Striker
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
back and putting out a new album. I don't know. I'm
Testament?
actually looking at.
Testament.
I haven't heard
Really?
about Testament.
Like a new record, Artillery. Anybody like Artillery?
Yeah. That's a
Yep, I
live
like
album that
Artillery.
Artillery's got coming out, though, I think.
I would be curious what they sound like live though, because their studio out there, that new singer it's a different vocal direction. I think it changes the complexion of the band a little bit.
One that surprised me is I saw that Morbid Saints putting out another album.
I did see that.
That one kind of surprised me.
I love that band.
And then
there's also a few new power metal bands coming out. I think Firewind's got a new album coming out.
Yep.
And Sonata I can never pronounce that damn last name. Arctica. And a band I'm not really hugely into also is Dragon Force, and I know they have a new album coming out. So
I would rather see Firewind. In fact, they're going to be here at the Granada Theater in a couple of weeks, I think.
Really, you're going to go?
I probably will, because we have a connection there, and it's a nice little venue. And as long as you don't want to mosh, you're in good shape. How about Havoc and Toxic Holocaust?
Yeah,
I'd love to hear new stuff from them. And I know Dave's been in the studio, which is basically his basement. He's got a.
Well, I know
nice
that The Obsessed and Live both have albums coming out the same day in February, so I'll be grabbing both of those.
Evergrey has a new live album. I didn't know that, but it's a live album. Still, I didn't know that.
What about the new McMars?
Who knows? I mean, that could be anything. You know, I want to hear that one first.
They've got a release.
Yeah, Damien, new Sebastian Bach's coming out, but he's been. I don't know if anybody's been watching the news, or I just catch it every once in a while when I'm on like YouTube or something like that. But Sebastian Bach is like, yeah, new Skid Row reunion is original members is not out of the question. I'm like, really? I thought I always was out of the question. But
what now that they have somebody that can sing better than he can?
They put out 2 great albums, and then I didn't like anything that they did after that.
And then a big one is the new Hyrax album, which I've
of course
heard bits and pieces of it. And Damien Hair Metal just reminded us of it as well.
Well, what about the new Bruce Dickinson album?
Is that a box set? Your favorite?
It's called like the Mandrake Project or something.
I thought I just saw a blurb about that before we got on the air.
I haven't. I just saw it listed. It comes out the same day as the Priest album.
I think it's a box set of. It's like an experimental thing, and maybe some old. I don't know. Don't catch me lying on that. I don't really know. I just saw that he had an actual physical box set in his hand.
So how about does anybody think the Kiss Avatars will release a new album?
Not even.
Not Kiss. The Kiss Avatars. All AI.
Man, don't even get me started on that. They, one of the local radio stations, the Sports Talk Radio or whatever, they do this thing every year called White Elephant, where they mix all the morning show with the afternoon guys and the afternoon guys with some of the midday guys. Anyway, they did an AI. They do these tickers where they, like the latest news of the day or whatever, but they did them in the AI voices of a particular person. And I promise you couldn't tell the difference. It was really bizarre because it was almost too precise, too perfect. There was no mistakes, no giggling, the normal course of radio broadcasting. And so I can only imagine what the Avatar Kiss might sound like.
Yeah, I'll pass on the Avatar Kiss. I just joking around, but I also I know that isn't not Heretic, not Hyrax, Hellstar aren't they working on something too?
They are, and I know Larry had posted some stuff that he was working on, some kind of like acoustic interlude stuff, but it's good. There's another band, Steve, that just keeps getting heavier. You talked about Stryper getting super, super heavy the older they get.
Yeah.
Hellstar, good grief, man. Thrashier, heavier. And you never know. They might just show up in Salt Lake when you're visiting there. You never know.
An interesting one that I saw is that DBC is in the studio working on a project. I didn't even know they were back together. When was that? Their last album, maybe 89?
92 or 90?
Yeah. But apparently they have an album that's supposed to come out this year. And then I read that Corrosion of Conformity. I read an interview of Pepper Keenan. He's been in the studio with COC and with Down. So they're talking about having both of those come out this year. And then Exodus and Fear Factory and Flotsam and Jetsam are supposed to all have stuff this year too.
Yeah, I noticed that Charlie Belmore was out on the road with Generation Kill, which is Rob Dukes,
Yeah.
and they were out with Hatriot. I didn't get a chance to see them because weren't even in my zip code or even in my state. But a band we saw in Salt Lake from Denver called Oryx basically played their entire new album when we saw their set at the Aces High Saloon there in Salt Lake City, and so I'm looking forward to that one. FKU, have you heard of them? Freddy Krueger's Underwear, Swedish thrash band. You need to check them out. They're really, really good. But they got a new record coming out. Haunter from San Antonio, kind of
We've got some
epic
singles from them.
epic death doom. That's kind of cool. They're coming out with a full length. Escuela Grind, a girl-fronted grindcore band, kind of like I can't even describe them. It's like if Nervosa were playing grindcore. Pretty cool stuff. But I don't know, man. We've got a lot
Master's
of-
got a new album coming out. Wow.
The other
know
one
that?
that really surprised
In January? Master.
Who's that?
Oh yeah, I saw they've been putting stuff out every few years. Their first
Interesting.
few are the only ones I list. That actually their first album is one of my all-time favorites. But
Who is this
Actually,
again?
Master.
Oh,
the Death
Master.
Band.
Yeah. Paul.
Annihilator and Anthrax are supposed to have new albums out next year. Death Angel's supposed to have a new album out next year. Deep Purple.
Sabotage has Curtain Call coming out. That's supposed to be their final album.
Evil Dead's got a new album coming out next year, which is cool.
Speaking of
Paul Diano has an album coming out in a couple months. Paul Diano's Warhorse.
oh, that's right. I was going to say, speaking of Death Angel, they're doing a like a double bill. You can buy it for like $10. You can watch it live. It's a sold out show with Forbidden and
Oh wow!
somebody else. And in fact, I think it's this weekend.
I'd love
But
to see
anyway,
I just saw that they posted all they're signing drum heads and stuff to sell.
Sacrifice has a new album coming out next year. Wow, I didn't know that. So is Sacred Reich, a full length.
really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in the Sacrifice for sure. I love
I
those
think Sacred
guys.
Reich. I think I read that they're already done with it. They just they need to do post production now, and that's it.
Oh, Gary,
Pestilence is coming out with a new album. Paradise Lost. Paul
Eagle fan
Diano.
Gary Ireton says the new Children of Bodom is out. I did read somewhere
Onslaught.
about
Nasty
that.
Savage, really? Really?
What?
Right on.
What?
That's not. Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne. Who cares? POD.
Does it come with a free used TV?
I'm looking forward to the new Gojira too. That's supposed to come out this summer.
Lacuna Coil. Ooh, Limp Bizkit, my favorite.
Powerwolf. Powerwolf's been putting out one every 2 years. Oh, Pestilence has a new album coming out
Yep.
called
It's called
Portals.
Yep. Y&T, really? Warbringer too. Nice. Wasp. And there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to next year.
Gee, many
POD, if you're
crystals.
into POD, I'm not I liked them when they first came out. I'm just not a big fan of that rap.
We're gonna have to have our top 100 of the year next year. It seems like there's so many.
Warbringer. I don't know what happened to them. They were putting them out every year or two, and
probably got burnt out because all they were doing was recording and touring,
2019 was like
recording and
their
touring.
last album. Maybe the pandemic just slowed them down.
Yeah, they put
Thanks,
out
Gary.
that one. They put out that one almost black metal album. Was that 4? I thought it was horrific. It was like
Who's that?
Testament. It was like Warbringer. It was
Oh
like,
yeah,
was like-
Empire's Collapse.
yeah, it was like Testament putting out demonic demonic or
I
whatever.
love
It just-
demonic, but
you do like it? I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I just can't. I've
I
tried.
love. Well, it came out right when I was the heaviest into death metal, and Testament was a favorite of mine anyway. I just like Chuck Billy's vocals. I like that growl that he's got.
I'll give it one more shot, but 3 strikes and they're. But,
Yeah, but Warbringer did that album, and then they went right back to their traditional thrash sound for the next 2 albums. Their
no,
last
and I think that's where they're. I think that's where they excel. I
Yeah.
think they're better that way. Yeah, Gary, how about those Eagles?
What
Anyway,
about 'em?
I don't
Did
know.
they
The sea pigeons knocked them off their moorings last night.
Yeah, Stuart, I'm not sure about the Mick. I love Mick Mars, but yeah, we'll see.
It might be good. I mean, it's hard to tell. You just don't know what style he's doing and nothing.
I'm gonna see him with John 5 in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. He's there. He's gonna be here at the infamous Granada Theater too.
Yeah, they're
I
doing
want to
it.
check him out.
Ooh, job for a cowboy, huh? Nice. Pass.
They
Not
were
into it.
they
There's a lot.
surprised me. I didn't like them when they came out, but I heard somebody played their last album for me, and I kind of dug it.
They've recycled the lineup at least twice. Like they have completely new members from the day they started to now. They've been everyone's been recycled twice.
They're more like a straight up death metal band at this point, though, aren't they?
I don't know. I haven't listened to a Job for a Cowboy track in 3 years,
I
5
love
years.
Sabotage's Handful of Rain. I thought that was great, Gary. So we're just yakking along to anything right now. So it's a free for all.
Yeah, I'm curious who's going to be on the new Sabotage album.
I'm really surprised the Rolling Stones put a new album out, but more power
It's
to them.
good.
Everybody seems to like it.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh man, I've got it right here behind me. It's really good.
It captures the Tattoo You vibe a little more than I thought it might.
It's the best. I wasn't going to get it, and my buddy John talked me into checking it out on Spotify. I played it like 7 times in a row. I really dug it, and I haven't been a fan of their stuff the last few years.
Doesn't it have Lady Gaga and some other guests joining for vocals and stuff?
Yeah, it's got a couple people on it, but yeah, Lady Gaga's on Sweet Sounds of Heaven. I got this in too. I don't know why I keep buying this shit, but
Japanese pressing.
It's one of the limited they've been doing the limited reissues.
It's a bootleg.
No, it's from Kiss.
Oh, it's Look It Up.
Yeah, it's Look It Up. It's the
Japanese cover.
Yeah, they pressed 2,000 of them through Kiss.com. Yeah, they've been doing every couple months. They do what's it? Like they just did this one, Alive 3. They've been doing limited runs of all their stuff.
And there's Steve with his
And
billfold in his hand. Oh,
yeah,
Riot
Stuart, that's one of the ones I'm really looking forward to. Riot's probably my second all-time favorite band. I love everything that they've released, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
I saw them here there was about 60 people, and man, they were good.
Who's that?
I was Riot.
Oh, they're fantastic. Well, people don't realize. So they were going to change the name, and then Mark Reale's family begged them to keep the name, and they decided to go with Riot 5. But it's all members that were in the band at different stages throughout the year. So
Right.
And man, they're great. And the last few albums have been really good. But I'm a huge Riot fan.
Yeah, I went to
My
see that.
my daughter gets mad when Swords and Tequila comes on because I play that song so much, and it just annoys the shit out of her at this point.
Oh, that's a great song.
I think it's one of the best metal songs of all time. But
Yep.
What's I can't remember. What's the Riot related band that was opening up for Raven on the last tour?
Riot Act.
Right.
Riot Act. I thought they were great. I really enjoyed them
Yeah.
live.
Yeah, he played guitar on. I mean, their biggest albums. I think it was like the second,
like the first 5 or 6.
He wasn't on the first album. It was like the second through the fourth or something like that. He was the rhythm guitarist. But I mean, that's all their biggest albums. I think the only original member still alive is the original bass player. I think everybody else has died at this point, and it's all been pretty nasty deaths for the most part. Pretty nasty disease. Pretty nasty rare diseases and
Yeah.
obviously
Cancer.
hers.
Yeah.
One of them was shot. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, was it Red Forrester? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shot here in Atlanta. So yeah, that's talking about a band with a history of tragedy.
Speaking of Atlanta, I just got this in the mail since we're just shooting the breeze and talking stuff.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's funny. I just mentioned, or I just messaged him earlier today. We were talking back and forth on the chat about getting him on here.
And it'll be out on vinyl next year too as well. So I'll be snatching up the vinyl too. So also this came in the mail finally.
Oh, nice.
Is that the new one that you guys just worked on?
Yeah, and it's got 2 tracks that were recorded during that sessions that were never that weren't on the original release, which is really nice.
So is there any
So-
talk of doing their second album?
There's talks about doing more of their stuff. I couldn't tell you anything specific, but yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Riot Act. If you guys, you can get that Riot Act CD from the from the Riot Act website, and
Yep.
it's 1 CD of new material and 1 CD of classic Riot, and it's really good. I wasn't expecting much, and Scott told me to check it out, and it stayed in my truck for a good 3 months and was on regular rotation.
yeah, I'm looking at Riot Act. Yeah, it's funny how many bands are actually named Riot Act. Closer to the Flame, that's the name of the album. They also had an EP out that came out like in 2020. But the because there was several other Riot members that were in the band at the time. I think was it the bass player? Somebody passed away between the EP and the album.
No, I'm not sure. Oh, David Reese has an album coming out too. I just saw that. I didn't even know he was still doing stuff.
Oh yeah, he's definitely still doing stuff. He lives in
Yeah.
Europe now, so he doesn't do stuff here as much anymore because he's so much more popular over there. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
it's just David Reese self-titled, so or using his name, I mean.
yeah, we put out one of his albums years ago, so he always contacts us when he's putting something new out to ask if we're interested in it or not. But he's a much bigger name in Europe than he is here, so his stuff is easier to sell there than here. I love his Circle of Silence albums. I think those are 2 of his best ever.
I think there's a couple British Lions, aren't there, Fraser? Didn't what's Steve from Iron Maiden? Doesn't he have a band called British Lions too?
Steve Harris?
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
yeah. They did a
Something
side.
similar. If it's-
I think it's British Lion. Maybe it's something. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I have the
Yes.
British Lion from the 70s too. I think 2 of their albums. Yeah,
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
kind of mad I missed that. I found out about the day after British Lion played here with Steve Harris, and I have a buddy that went, and he brought like 7 of his Maiden albums, and Steve Harris sat there, signed all of them. They said he was really cool. He sat around for a couple hours after the show talking to people and signing stuff. You know, that's somebody you never get a close up of at a Maiden show. You know, so
No.
without, I guess if you pay $1,500 for a VIP package, but yeah, they said it was really cool.
Yeah, a buddy of mine lives in Norway. He was at a soccer game, and all of a sudden this guy sits down next to me, looks over, and he's like, "It's Steve Harris sitting next to him watching the soccer game." It was like a kid's soccer game, so it was like somebody related to him that he was there to watch. So he looks over at him and he's like, introduces himself, says hi. He goes, "If I run home and get a couple of things with a couple of records, would you sign it for me?" He goes, "Yeah, absolutely." So he's like,
Yeah.
back. I would have done the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss that
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Nope. Anyhow, well, we
I
are
haven't-
at 1 hour, so I guess you have to wrap it up. Has anybody got anything they want to say outside of what we've already said?
No, are we gonna go ahead and give everyone a Christmas present and not have a show next week?
Yeah, take next week
Yeah,
off.
we're gonna. I think we're gonna skip a week. is what
Yeah,
we
we're gonna
discussed.
skip a week and we'll be back
because-
the day after New Year's.
Yeah, we all have family obligations, so day after New
I saw
Year's.
that they actually, sorry, Gary, they actually opened up for Iron Maiden on the last tour here, at least here in Atlanta. His son's band, Raven Age, opened. I thought they were all right. Not enough that I bought the album, but I thought they were pretty good.
Right
So
on. Anything else?
no,
Okay,
Thanks.
then
can't believe
For
it's been
epis-
another year. Gee, many Christmas. Where's the time
Right?
going?
so I need to find all these little banners and stuff so I can actually click us out of here when we're ready. But
Get that production value for the Christmas show.
absolutely, we are professionals after all. That's why we had the nice intro today, where our faces were shown for about a minute
Uh-huh.
between the two. That was just total. That wasn't me. That was a total glitch from what is this program called? Whatever this program is called. we're
Live
using, 'cause
stream.
I pushed play and it just didn't play for a second.
Oh wow.
Anyhow, yeah. Right on. All right, man. So for episode number, I gotta wait for it to come around. 207
or 207, yeah.
and the middle roundtable. We'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, since we won't see you till then. And you know how we do it. Metal
Metal
will
will
prevail.
prevail.
Kind of hard,
Christmas, guys.
hard to look metal and evil with a Christmas hat on, isn't it?